Central, Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
we can't access Rashad.
Hey, Rashad.
Off a huge, defensive victory. How does that help launch you into this now knockout stage?
I mean, it's huge for us. Anytime that you're playing well on the defensive end, that can help you then recover on the offensive end, because you can't always depend on great games and great scoring games in a sense. But if you can defend and if you can stop them from scoring, it kind of gives you some grace in the period to kind of like take a deep breath and still work through it. So I'm glad that we had a good defensive showing.
How do you enjoy Snoop last night?
Oh, got the chain death row records. No, it was super cool. I mean, the things that he's doing in the Olympics has been incredible, just bringing people's attention to it, the culture. I love when the culture kind of comes into sport, because I think it helps grow the game. So it's pretty cool to see him up there, have my face on his shirt, and he all gave us chains. So yeah, I wore mine today.
That celebration and that legacy of USA basketball, did that, adjust your guys' mindset going into the next few days?
I mean, yes and no. At the same time, coming in, just making it to Paris to medal week was always huge. That is our main goal, is to get to this point. Obviously, enjoying the festivities in it all is always fun, but at the same time, we know what the main thing is. The standard that we have to uphold, the legacy that we have to continue to build on is huge for us. So yeah, it was pretty cool to be. I think it just felt great to be celebrated. In my opinion, we don't get talked about enough. So to have that space where we're celebrated and people can really see what we've been doing for the past 7 other Olympics, I think it's huge.
Asia, how do you think that you can get talked about more? What can media do better? What can basketball do better, to push the narrative of this dynasty?
Just talk about it. Just talk about it in a light that everyone gets a piece of the pie. It's not really leaning towards any one person, 2 people, half a person. It's just talking about it more in a light of just uplifting ways, not necessarily of just a lot of gossip and BS. I'm trying to filter it the best way I can, but just really get talked about. I mean, people don't really talk about the greatness that we have in this locker room. I think they talk about more so of what we may lack, and that's not always good. Sometimes you need to stay in the moment and give people their flowers while they're here, because once they're gone, no one really, it goes. So these moments don't come by often, and so for me to share this locker room with these phenomenal women, even though we're in the middle of our season, it doesn't get talked about enough, and I think people need to talk about it in a great way, in a great fashion. I would just have to say, go back to uplifting each other. I think that's the biggest thing that I've seen this whole Olympics is I feel like we were just in awe. I think the Olympics is a great time to show that we're fans of greatness. We have fans, yes, but they don't realize that we're fans of other people too. We're fans of greatness. I mean, I met Ledecky last night. I was like, wait a minute, girl, I can't swim, but girl, you're goated. And those moments there are just so true, and I think that's what we can continue to build on, is understanding how like I said, these moments don't come by often to be in the space of greatness, and we need to capitalize on that as soon as possible, because what we're doing is great. What the people are doing here in the Olympics, the women of this Olympics, has been incredible to watch, and so I'm so glad that I can check off and get my selfie cam ready for some.
Is there someone else you still want to meet?
Someone else I want to meet here?
Yeah, another great female Olympian.
I think I pretty much met everybody. Oh, Simone Biles, I haven't met her yet. I would love to. I feel like that is the goat of the goat. So yeah, definitely.
Asia, have you been able to visit the Nike Athlete House and do any of the activations they have there?
No, I haven't, not yet, and it's so sad. I think I might go on my birthday, honestly. That's the only time that I have time to do it. I wanted to go today, but practice kind of is a little late and it'll be closed, but definitely want to stop by there with my family and stuff.
And then finally,
it's easy. I always say the ball is still round and the rim is still orange, and at the end of the day, it's going to be basketball. We toss that ball up, and we're going to be something. We're going to make greatness happen, because that's what we have on the court. But it is hard to just kind of find a groove, because we aren't playing together as much as many years as these teams have been together. But I think we have to credit ourselves on what we do in the moments that we are together, and that's what helps me the most, is leaning on them, communicating, talking with them, and putting them in the best situations to be great. And that's not always the easiest thing when you're trying to go through everything. You're seeing different lineups on the other side and within us, but we make it work. We do make it work, and I think that's why we are so great at what we do. Yeah.
What did it mean to you for Snoop to bring the women up on stage last night? I know we've already asked about this, but it's just he was so intentional. I do have a video, by the way, of him just saying you are his go-to. But no, what did that mean? Because it felt like, I it was such a surprise.
Yeah.
Everybody in the room, he just like, the women's team come up and to acknowledge you guys in that way.
It definitely was a surprise, but like I said before, I feel like just the sense of being celebrated in this space is always great. And sometimes you just need that. Like it's hard. It's hard. What we're doing is really, really hard. There's a lot of people that can't really stop midway through their season to go compete together and then go back to rivals, and that's hard to do. So just to be celebrated in this space and uplifting and let people see us in an element that's not in our uniforms all the time, it's always a great feeling. So always big shout out to Snoop and everyone that's really just genuinely invested in us and want to see us do great.
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
We
you want one quick
can't
question?
ask Rashad a question.
Hey, Rashad.